find a comfortable seat on your mat. You can sit in Sukhasana or any other seated position that feels good to you. Be sure to draw the navel in towards the spine. Allow the crown of the head to reach towards the sky, and then bring the shoulder blades together and down your back, placing the hands on the thighs, palms up. Go ahead and close your eyes. And something that I read recently, I was reading about yoga for people who have like really high anxiety. And it was saying that for some people, closing the eyes is terrifying. So if that's you, you do not have to close your eyes. You know, we're trying to tune out distractions, which is why we're closing our eyes. But if you're more comfortable just taking a soft gaze, that's fine too. Start to bring the breath into balance by making your inhale the same length as the exhale. With each inhale, allow the spine to grow tall. And then as you exhale, you'll keep the length in the spine, but just begin to allow the body to soften. Relax the shoulders, relax that jaw. Let go of any tension that you're holding on to. So today's class focuses on Sun Salutation B. Sun Salutation B, to me, is pretty challenging. It's more vigorous than Sun Salutation A. But I will offer modifications, of course, so that if you want to practice it a little more gently, you can do that. And I wanted to read a quote from Iyengar to get started. In your discipline, if doubt comes, let it come. You do your work and let doubt carry on with its work. And let us see who gives up first. In your discipline, if doubt comes, let it come. You do your work and let doubt carry on with its work. And let us see who gives up first. So I've been thinking a lot about discipline lately. I'm the type of person who can be super disciplined, or I can be the exact opposite. I don't really have a middle ground, something I'm working on. But discipline is one of those things that we do need to think about in yoga. We have to be disciplined about our yoga practice. We have to commit to it. And I do see the same Zoom friends. You guys are super disciplined and committed, and that is so great to see. I find that when I work on becoming disciplined in a specific area of my life, whether that's my yoga practice, my running exercise, whether it's being more mindful with what I'm eating. If I focus on one thing to be disciplined about, suddenly other things just naturally become more disciplined as well. An example would be when I was studying for my personal training certification. I had to be extremely disciplined because I had to read an entire textbook, and then I had to buy a whole nother training program because it was just too much. But I committed. I was disciplined about it. Sure, doubt came. If you followed me on social media at that time, you saw that. But while I was doing that, my exercise became more regular. I was more committed to it. The foods I was eating, it was healthier. The rest of my life became more disciplined as well. So if you can just start somewhere with your yoga practice, that's great. And then you may see that other parts of your life become more disciplined as well. So let's bring our hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra, prayer position. We'll breathe together 3 times, and on the 3rd exhale, we'll share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale and exhale. And for the 3rd time together, inhale. Om. Bow the head. Place your hands on your thighs. Softly open the eyes, looking forward. We'll start today seated, and we're going to warm up the neck. So root down through your sit bones. Inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, turn that head to look to the left. Inhale, come back to center. And as you exhale, turn the head to look to the right. Inhale to center, 2 more on each side. When you finish, come back to a neutral neck, neutral spine. Root down through the sit bones. Inhale, grow tall. As you exhale, lower your left ear towards your left shoulder. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, right ear towards right shoulder. Inhale, back up. 2 more on each side. When you finish, you can again bring yourself back to a neutral neck, neutral spine. Bring your arms by your sides. As you inhale, arms come up overhead. And as you exhale, arms come back down by your sides. So inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, arms come back down. So I know that, a lot of Vinyasa yoga teachers don't do quite as much warming up as I do. They kind of sometimes get right into it. But I find it's so important to keep warming up that body, especially as we get older. From personal experience, I can say that. So we start off a little slower, but we'll start heating up and raising the heart rate a bit in just a bit. The next time the arms are up overhead, allow your palms to come together to touch. And then as you exhale, bring the hands together at your heart. Take the left hand by your side. Root down through the sit bones. As you inhale, allow the spine to grow tall as the right fingertips reach towards the ceiling. On the exhale, begin to tip to the left. So keep the spine nice and tall here, and then bow out those right ribs. Slowly bring yourself up. As you exhale, you can lower the right hand. Press down through the sit bones. Inhale, the spine lengthens as the left fingertips reach towards the sky. Exhale, begin to tip to the right, bowing out the left ribs. Slowly bring yourself back up, and we'll come to all fours, hands and knees. So when you come to all fours, make sure that those knees are just hip width apart. The knees are slightly behind the hips. Hands are slightly forward of your hips. Fingers spread wide. Press down through the perimeter of the palms and the fingers. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, shift your hips to your heels, your chest to your thighs, coming to extended child's pose. As you inhale, bring yourself back up, all fours. So we exhale back to child's pose. Inhale up, all fours. And you're moving with your breath here at your own pace. The next time you come to all fours, pause there. We're going to move into downward facing dog. So curl the toes under. Begin to shift those sit bones towards the wall behind you. Lift the knees just a bit and then press back, coming to downward facing dog. Start to bend the knees, go back down into child's pose. And then as you inhale, bring yourself back up, all fours. Curl those toes under. Sit bones shift to the back of the room. Knees lift just a bit as you press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Allow the heels to relax towards the mat. A bend in the knee is perfectly fine. I'm just looking at I don't know if you can see my coffee cup. It's kind of balancing right now. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. Inhale up all fours, and then once more, curl the toes under. Sit bones shift towards the back of the room. Knees lift as you press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Start to walk your feet forward towards your hands, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Relax your head and neck here. Bring your hands to your hips. Press down through the feet to come up to Tadasana, mountain pose. Arms by your sides, soft knees. As you inhale, arms sweep up. Start to bend the knees as if you're sitting just on the edge of a chair. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to slide those hips back in the chair. So if you have a block, this is one place where a block is really nice between the knees, because you can squeeze that block, which is going to engage your quads and help keep that weight out of the knees. Press down through the feet to bring yourself up. Exhale, hinge forward. Relax the head and neck. Inhale, bring yourself up halfway. Exhale, fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, Bend the knees, sit on the edge of your chair. If you're using the block, you can squeeze it. And then slide those hips back in the chair for Utkatasana, chair pose. Press down through the feet. Bring yourself up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Inhale up, halfway. Exhale, fold. Press down through those feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more time. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, sit on the edge of that chair. Take a breath in, and then on the next exhale, slide those hips back. Press down through the feet. Inhale up. Exhale, hinge forward. If you're using the block, you can remove it now. And from here, we're going to step back to downward facing dog. Sweep the right leg out behind you and then step that right foot forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of the left foot, toes point out slightly, and as you inhale, the arms sweep up for Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So in this pose, make sure that right knee isn't falling in towards the big toe. We want it to be kind of looking directly over the second and third toes. Arms are strong and active, reaching towards the sky, or for a more gentle option, you can place your hands on your hips. As you inhale, straighten the right leg. Reach the fingertips to the sky, keeping that spine nice and long as you hinge forward over that right leg. Relax the head and neck here. Come up on the ball of the left foot, step back, down dog. Sweep that left leg out behind you. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of that right foot. As you inhale, arms sweep up, Warrior 1. Inhale, straighten the left leg. Keep the length in the spine as you hinge from the hips, folding forward. Come up on the ball of the right foot. Step back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Remember that at any time, in any yoga class with any teacher, you can always come to down dog or child's pose if you need to rest. So the whole rest of the class could be doing something else and you're resting in child's pose, and that's perfectly fine. Sweep that right leg out behind you. Step it forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of the left foot. Inhale, arms sweep up, Virabhadrasana 1. Lower the hands, one on either side of that right foot. Step back to downward facing dog, and then we're going to float the body forward, coming to plank. So in plank, it's very important that we are really integrated with our muscles. So we don't want our back to sag at all because that can really cause a lot of pain. If you find it challenging to hold plank, lower the knees and you'll build up the strength needed to hold it with the knees up. Once again, we'll shift back to downward facing dog. Sweep that left leg out behind you. Step the left foot forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, arms sweep up. Virabhadrasana 1. Lower the hands, one on either side of the left foot. Step back to downward facing dog. And from here, we'll float forward again to plank. And you choose knees up or down. Bring the navel towards the spine. Focus on your breath. Shift back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward. Coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Press down through those feet. Inhale, arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. So something that I've discovered about myself as I watch videos is I wiggle a lot. But I'm always trying to keep my body soft. I don't want to lock the knees or anything like that. So standing again in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. From here, step back to downward facing dog. We're going to float forward to plank. For this one, I'm going to lower my knees so that I can show you what that looks like. So the knees are lowered, but you're shifted forward so you can feel that core working. Inner elbows look at the space in front of you. Hug the elbows into the body as you bend them towards the space behind you and lower your chest and your chin towards the mat. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising to either baby cobra or cobra. Here you have the option to press down through the tops of your feet and rise to upward facing dog. Curl the toes under here. Shift back, down dog. Staying in cobra is going to be a little safer for the low back. Start to walk your feet forward. Uttanasana, forward fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward, and step back to downward facing dog. Sweep that left leg out behind you and step it forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, up. Virabhadrasana 1. Lower the hands, one on either side of the left foot, and step back to plank. This time I'll show you with the knees up. So you're like a plank of steel here. We're not sagging. We're not piking the hips either. When we lower with the knees up, first you want to float forward to the tops of the toes. Inner elbows look at the space in front of you. Hug the elbows in as you slowly lower for chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising to cobra or baby cobra with the bent elbows. And then if you'd like, you can lift the thighs for upward facing dog. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Curl the toes under. Shift back to downward facing dog. And then start to walk the feet forward, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Press down through the feet to bring yourself up. As you exhale, hands come together at your heart. So just close your eyes here. Come back to the breath. Inhale and exhale are equal. Sun Salutation B includes a lot of hard work, and we're getting ready to do 3 rounds of Sun Salutation B. Just remember, you can always take a break and you can modify. So we start by standing in Tadasana with soft knees. Inhale, arms sweep up. exhale, bend those knees as if you're sitting on the edge of a chair. Feel free to use that block. And then take a breath in. As you exhale, slide the hips back. Press down through the feet. Inhale, come all the way up. As you exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward, coming to Uttanasana. Inhale, come up halfway. So allow that back to be parallel to the mat. Exhale, fold forward. Step back to plank. Hug the elbows in as you slowly lower for Chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising to Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Curl the toes under. Shift back to Downward Facing Dog. Sweep that right leg out behind you and step the right foot forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of the left foot. Inhale, arms sweep up for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, lower the hands, one on either side of that right foot. Step back to plank. Slowly lower for Chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising. Curl those toes under. Shift back, down dog. Sweep the left leg out behind you. Step that left foot forward between your hands. Root down through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, arms sweep up, Virabhadrasana 1. Lower the hands, one on either side of that left foot. Step back to plank. Slowly lower, Chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising to either Cobra or Up Dog. Relax the shoulders here. Curl the toes under. Shift back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, Downward Facing Dog. Step the feet forward, coming to Uttanasana, Forward Fold. Press down through the feet. As you inhale, the arms begin to rise. When they're in line with the ears, use the core. Come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment here. Come back to your balanced breath. Inhale and exhale are equal. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, bend the knees, sitting on the edge of that chair. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, slide the hips back in the chair. Press down through the feet. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. Bring yourself up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Step back to plank. Knees can be up or down. Slowly lower down for Chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising to Cobra or Up Dog. Curl the toes under. Shift back, Downward Facing Dog. Sweep that right leg out behind you and then step it forward between your hands. Root down through the sole of the left foot. Inhale, arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Lower the hands, one on either side of that right foot. Step back, plank. Slowly lower down for Chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising. Curl the toes under. Shift back, down dog. Sweep the left leg out behind you and then step it forward between your hands. Root down through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, arms up. Virabhadrasana 1. Lower the hands. Once again, step back to plank, knees up or down. Slowly lower for chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising. Curl the toes under. Shift back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. You could also take child's pose. Give yourself a moment to come back to the breath. If doubt creeps in, let it do its thing. You're stronger. Start to walk your feet forward, coming to Uttanasana, forward fold. Press down through those feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. We're going to do one more round of Sun Salutation B. Standing in Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend those knees. Sit on the edge of your chair. Take a breath in. As you exhale, slide those hips back. Press down through the feet. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, folding forward. As you inhale, come up halfway. As you exhale, fold. Step back to plank, knees up or down. Hug those elbows in as you slowly lower. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising. Curl the toes under, shift back. Downward facing dog. Sweep the right leg out behind you and then step it forward between the hands. Root down through the sole of that left foot. Inhale, arms up. Warrior one. Lower the hands, step back to plank. Slowly lower down. Chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising to cobra or up dog. Curl the toes under, shift back. Down dog. Sweep that left leg out behind you. Step it forward between those hands. Root down through the sole of the right foot. Inhale, arms up. Lower the hands, one on either side of that left foot. Step back to plank. Once again, we lower for chaturanga. Sweep the chest through the arms, rising. Curl the toes under. Shift back and rest here. Down dog or child's pose. You choose. Come back to the breath here. Come back to the present moment. And then we're going to come to lay down on our bellies. So something that I think is important to know or to think about with regards to discipline is the things that we become that we're trying to become disciplined in don't necessarily have to be things that are thought of as hard or bad or anything like that. It could be something as simple as becoming disciplined in allowing yourself to rest each day, or becoming disciplined in improving your bedtime routine so that you get a better night's sleep. Could be something like that too. So we're going to lay on the belly. Extend your arms out nice and long so that the palms face the floor. We're going to do a variation of Shalabhasana. As you inhale, your right arm, your head, your chest, and your left leg simultaneously lift up off of the mat. So you're reaching the right fingertips to the front, reaching the left toes to the back. As you exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg lift. exhale, lower. So you're just going to alternate here. Opposite arm and leg, moving with your breath at your own pace. The next time you lift the left hand and the right leg will be your last one. So you're going to keep those arms extended out nice and long, palms face the floor. This time as you inhale, both arms, the head, chest, and both legs simultaneously lift up off of the mat. As you exhale, lower. 2 more here. When you finish, you're going to come all the way down, roll over onto your back, and hug your knees into your chest. Once you get there, you can rock side to side if that feels good to you. So what we're going to do next is bridge pose, and then we're going to move right into shoulder stand. Some of us are. You can do it supported or not. I recommend supported, so you can use a block. You can use the block for bridge and for shoulder stand if you'd like. I'm going to start without the block. Lay on the back, place the soles of the feet on the ground. Draw the pelvic floor up and the navel in. Engage both glutes, lift the hips. So you can hold this here like this, or you can slide that block right under the sacrum and just let the block support the weight of the body. This is one of my favorites. If you don't have a block, it's okay. You can hold the pose. Now, while you're here, I want you to take the peace fingers of the right hand and just slide them under your neck. And notice, is my neck flat on the mat or is it curving away from the mat? If the neck is flat on the mat, you're going to skip shoulder stand. If the neck is curving away, you'll lift one leg followed by the other. So this is supported shoulder stand, which is awesome. I'll show it to you without the block in case you don't have a block. So if you're in supported shoulder stand, you're just going to stay there breathing. If you don't have a block, you're going to lift the hips like you're going into bridge pose. Then take your hands at your waist. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. Okay, never mind. Draw your knees into your chest and then lift your hips, placing your hands at your sacrum. They're kind of holding you up comfortably, and the legs are pointing to the sky. But again, we can't do shoulder stand if the neck is flat against the mat. It's just not safe. Make sure you're breathing here. So if you are using the block, you can lower the feet and then slide the block out, hugging the knees to the chest. If you're not using the block, you can start to bend your knees and slowly roll back onto your back, hugging those knees into the chest. So here, you'll keep the knees hugged in. Bring your arms out like a T, palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. So we're tipping our legs over to the left. If it's okay for the head, you can turn that head to look to the right. Start to draw those knees back up. And on the next exhale, we're going to tip the legs over to the right. And this time, you can turn the head to look to the left. Start to draw the knees back up. And then press the soles of the feet up towards the sky. Rotate the ankles here. You can reverse the direction of that ankle rotation. Let the ankles become still, and you're going to flex the feet. Start to lower the legs until they're about 2 inches away from the ground, and then bring them back up. If you find that this is a little much for your low back, do one leg at a time. Draw those knees in one more time. And then we're going to begin to prepare for Shavasana. If there's anything that you need to be comfortable, like a sweater or socks, drink of water, please feel free to grab it. And then once you have what you need, you're just going to lay on your back with the legs extended out nice and long. If that is uncomfortable, you can modify this pose as well. So we want to make sure that we're comfortable in Shavasana, reducing any distractions. You can allow the feet to just flop open. Arms are by your sides, palms face the sky, and the arms are a few inches away from the body. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you exhale, just let it all go. Let your eyes just rest in their sockets. Let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. Let the natural breath take over. Rest in Shavasana. slowly start to deepen the breath, becoming aware of the room once again and becoming aware of your body. You can start to make subtle movements that feel good to you, like wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes. You can rotate through the wrists and the ankles and turn the head gently from side to side. And then stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up. Nice full body stretch. And then roll to the right side in the fetal position, and we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping the eyes closed if you'd like. You can use the arms to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seated position facing the front of the room. And once you get there, you can bring those hands together at the heart in Anjali Mudra. So one last thing I'd like to say about discipline is I think sometimes when we hear the word, we get a negative feeling. I think the word is used incorrectly in that, we can think of the word as a punishment of sorts. You need to learn some discipline, or you need to discipline your child, things like that. It makes it seem like a negative thing. But I want you to forget that and think of discipline as a positive, because you are finding your own discipline. It's no one else is doing it to you. You're bettering yourself by becoming disciplined in something, whatever that is. And when that happens, not only can it make our lives better, but it can make you feel really good, because it is hard to find discipline in an area where you don't already have it. So once you can do it, it feels really good. And I'm going to read the Iyengar quote once again. In your discipline, if doubt comes, let it come. You do your work and let doubt carry on with its work. And let us see who gives up first. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease and well-being. Namaste. Thank you.